staying low down, keeping it a bill, that ain't no doubt. Much love to the homie, every city know now. More crowd, pressing issues in the positive. Locked out TV is way better than they thought it is. The interviews is solid facts, talking about your troubled past. What you did to change that shit, doing better is the plan. Homie keeps a solid point, combo lit just like a joint. Better yet just like a brew, locked out TV.
What's good, fam bam? Welcome back to another episode of Locked Out TV. You already know how we do it, man. We're going to keep it locked out, no doubt, for real. Coming at you with another locked out banger. In this episode right here, we're going to be talking about an individual named Transas that decided to say that Chicanos can't rap, never could rap, and Raza is no good for the money. But before we jump up into the topic of the video, I'm going to need y'all to keep it all the way locked out with me. If you haven't hit that subscribe, it'd be highly appreciated if you hit that subscribe. Also hit that like and most definitely hit that notification bell. And if you really want to level up in the game, hit that comment section and talk yo shh. Because that's exactly what the comment section is there for. That being said, let's jump into the topic of the video. So, Transas, right? He went on this podcast. I want to say the name of the podcast was something Gangsters, Original Gangsters, or Gangster Chronicles, or something like that. I'm not really sure. But I know Mceiht was on the podcast. I'm not sure if he's a host on the podcast or if he was just a guest on the podcast. And I'm not so sure who the other two guys was. But it's not important. What is important is what this fool decided to say on the podcast, right? So he goes on this podcast and he's talking about, you know, being in the 90s and working as a DJ for High C and this, that, and the third. And the homies and the Raza used to give him a lot of backlash because, you know, they would always say, hey, you're over there with them. You're not even with us. You know, you're worried more about doing business with them. You ain't trying to help us out, this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. That's what he claims, right? So, but he also goes on to say that he didn't know any Chicano rappers back in the 90s. And when he did start messing with Chicano rappers in the late 90s, early 2000s, that they didn't want to pay him. That the Raza did not want to pay him money for his services. And not only that, but he didn't even know any Chicano rappers back in the day. And if he did, they couldn't rap. Now, I know this fool's old. Okay? He's old. I wouldn't dare call him an OG. I wouldn't dare call him anything like that. But he's old. But I know he was around because I remember when Kid Frost was on BET. Now, y'all know Kid Frost called into that man's podcast and put him on blast. Everyone heard that. Everyone seen that. Right? So, you know, Kid Frost said, you know, you could have been on the front lines with everyone that was in the game doing their thing. That was making a foundation for Chicano rap as we know it, or for just, you know, young homies and Raza that's coming up in the game, period. You know? You could have been one of the people to lay that foundation, but you didn't want to because you was always over there with them. Right? And not saying that was a bad thing because he was getting his money over there. If he was getting his money over there, then get your money. But here's what I'm saying. You on this podcast with these individuals and you ain't talking nothing good about your own people, about the people that you're supposed to have so much love for, and about the people that you want to help succeed, and the people that, you know, your people, right? But you on this podcast over here trying to get brownie points and really trying to make yourself seem like you're a victim of your people because your people never supported what you was doing and they always gave you backlash for what you was doing, right? And then when you did start trying to help them out, or they did start working with you, or whatever the case may be, they didn't want to pay you for your services, right? Come on. Man. You know, man. This fool wanted to make a Chicano rap documentary, but when Chicano rap was laying the foundation, he wasn't even a part of it. Them fools didn't even like him. You know, and he knew that. He knew that because he pretty much admitted that shit on this podcast, right? Now, Mceiht's worked with homies before. He's done plenty of music with homie artists and you know, Mexicanos and Chicanos and all that shit. Mceiht knows. Mceiht knows that this fool's bullshit when he's sitting there saying, hey, you know, I've never met any that could rap. And I used to tell him, look, when one of y'all can rap, I'll mess with you. Come on, bro. What type of shit? That fool acted like he's putting people on, man. He wasn't putting nobody on. He was carrying equipment on the DJ. He was the DJ carrying the equipment and shit, man. Come on. That shit's crazy. So that just goes to further show that, for one, he doesn't really give a shit about his people. He don't. He's just riding a wave. Because right now, it's very popular. You know what I'm saying? Right now, homie rap, Mexicano rap, Latinos in general. It's going down right now. It's popping. Like, if you're an artist and you're a Latino artist, no matter where you're from, you know, now's the time to be that. You know, you see the podcasts are going up, the music's going up, and different styles are coming out. Different styles are, you know, intertwining with each other, and they're doing their thing. So it's obvious that this fool seen an opportunity. He don't got love for his people. It's clear. You know, it's obvious because he didn't have nothing good to say about his people when he was on the podcast over there, right? And then on top of that, he pretty much admitted on that podcast that there was no way for him to really... I mean, yeah, you could make a documentary, right? With you just telling a story and throwing some pictures in there and, you know, doing that. If you do your research, or you could do a half-ass documentary and just throw some pictures and a couple clips and talk over the clips and never really have no interviews, never really have no individuals in the documentary. You could just talk about the individuals in the documentary. That's one way to do it. But it's clear to see that that fool didn't even like Chicano rap back in the day. He said they couldn't rap. Chicanos couldn't rap back in the day. That's what he said, right? And then they didn't want to pay for any services. They was cheap, you know? But when he was sitting there talking about, I need you to donate to this. I need you to be a part of this. I need, you know... Come on, man. It's obvious. He just wanted the money, bro. He was just trying to get that fatty and run away with it. Once I seen that, kind of popped in my head that this fool never even intended on having, even making a documentary, you know. And even though I don't like that fool, and even before I was on the level where I didn't like that fool and I want to slap the shit out of him, I still had, you know, kept a little faith. And I told the homie from the OC, right? I told him I would apologize. You know what I'm saying? I would apologize. Creep. I told the homie old Creep when he was on my channel. I said I would apologize if this fool dropped if he did drop the documentary, I apologize. But now, the further we get away from the documentary, we're already 3 years. We going into 4 years, right? And the further we get away from that, and the more he just keeps talking and getting drunk and talking and getting drunk and talking, he's just showing more and more of the fact that that documentary really never meant anything to him. He just seen an opportunity to get some money. He did not think that people would donate the way they did, and he came up real quick off that shit. In about 2 weeks, he got over $20,000, and he was like, hell yeah, you know? And then that fool started doing stupid shit, buying Molly, spiking drinks, damn, all this extra shit. And now he's $40,000 in the debt. You know what I'm saying? But that just goes to show you, man, someone that claims, I got so much love for y'all, and I just want to see, you know, my people come up, blah, 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 right? But then you go on a black podcast, and you talk shit about your people, and you talk shit about Chicano rap, in which you so wholeheartedly wanted to make a documentary about, right? Oh man. Well, keep doing you. That's all I gotta say. Keep doing you, and I'm gonna keep saying cancel that fool, boycott that fool, unsubscribe from that fool. And anyone that's backing him up, do all that. Unsubscribe, boycott, cancel all that shit. Because if they're backing him up and they're seeing all the bullshit that he's doing right now, and they're hearing all the things that he's saying right now, and they're still trying to defend the shit that he's saying and defend the shit that he's doing, then they're not even worth supporting. And it's just as simple as that, y'all. So that being said, I hope y'all enjoy the video. Drop a comment below. Let me know what y'all think about the situation. Much love, much respect. Hit that subscribe. Run it back up. Let's show them, bro. We ain't dead over here. Y'all ain't stopped nothing. Y'all just slow the process down. Y'all ain't stopped nothing. So that being said, we're going to keep it loked out, no doubt. For real. To the next one. And I'm out.
Locked out TV, thought you knew. Keep it G and keep it fly. No doubt merch you got.